Good morning, friends. Hope this finds you all well and good this morning. I'm gonna have to be careful that I don't work blue. I'm feeling kind of preachy. If you grew up when I did, or even if you're around parents who grew up when I did, or whatever the case may be, you might remember your parents telling you that the only real certain guaranteed things in life are death and taxes. I'm here to tell you they're full of it, man, because there's a lot of things that are guaranteed in life, like laundry. I'm confined to quarters in front of the laundry again. I got bedding work in here, so bedding, making your bed, cleaning your room, laundry, dishes, groceries, bills. These things never go away, man. They are absolute guarantees. Perusing how it works in my 24-hour day book this morning, and it really had me in mind of those youthful days and some cold hard realities, man. Maybe some more epiphanies and some more growth. In the opening paragraph, how it works, the word honesty is used in the third edition of the big book. I counted 3 times. And man, it's never ending, right? Like, if I'm going to be honest with myself, there's some things that I gotta admit. It also talks about, or reads, if you will, that having completed this part of the process, we find ourselves at step 3, the spiritual awakening. And it goes on to discuss the spiritual awakening and when this happens, if it happens for you, that it should be done with somebody very close by, maybe a spiritual advisor, a close friend, a wife in this case. Still a very patriarchal society at that point in our history, unfortunately. They were doing their best, man, and we give them credit for that. I feel like for myself personally, I don't know if it's because of my Catholicism at the time, or maybe my desire to explore the spiritual part of my own journey. I was very intrigued by Scripture. I was very intrigued by, other theologians that I knew. That said, I seemed to kind of blast through my 4th step, and who knows why? Maybe I was convinced that I was further ahead than most because of my own history and that part of my own ego. But I'm realizing now that if I was to list resentments and list these things accordingly, there was a number that I completely omitted. My father. I never listed any resentment regarding my father, and I absolutely should have. I mean, that should have been my number 1. Here was a man who I longed to be in a relationship with, and that never happened, and it never happened by his own failings. Whether or not he had that skill set, I mean, that's up for debate. I mean, obviously the man had his own things going on in his own life, and I bear him no ill will in that regard. But certainly, if I'm honest with myself, there's resentment there that I absolutely should have listed. Blake Morton, I'll say it again, Blake Morton, the man who molested me from 7 until 13 years old, and dozens of other young boys in the Windsor and Essex County area, who, to the best of my knowledge, has never faced anything like justice for the crimes that he committed. How many times am I going to go on record for that one, right? That man and what he did to me, what he robbed me of, um, never listed that as a resentment in those earliest days of my sobriety when I was first doing my fourth step. Absolutely should have. Absolutely should have. Should have 100% explored that. Never did. My sisters, um, to this day, relationships that I long for, siblings, those connections, never listed those. Again, much like my father, um, these women living their own lives, with their own struggles and the own reality, the realities of their own journeys. Was a relationship with me even in their wheelhouse? Was it on their priority list? Was it, anything that they'd ever even considered? I don't know. And the words that my sister Yvette, I believe, not to misquote the woman, has spoken to me, ring true to this day. It's amazing that we survived that experience as children. So, I mean, is that something that's realistic to expect from them? Who's to say? But certainly a resentment that I should have listed. Never did. So here I find myself this morning, a little bit of a wake-up call, I guess. Certainly things that I need to work on. And I've always maintained that I don't care if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 days, 90 days, 6 months, 10 years, 25 years. We're all one drink away, and we all have work to do, right? We all have this walk to walk. And in a program that tells us in the opening paragraphs, no less than 3 times, honesty is key. Here I am continuing to be honest with myself. And that brings me to kind of a point that I landed on with Sarah this morning. Teachability. My new friend, who was so wonderful in providing me this wonderful edition that I've been bending pages in, bending the spine, as it were, reminded me to remain teachable. And the gratitude I feel for a person 41 years clean and sober to share that wisdom with me, it's beyond words. That key aspect of our journey that so many struggle with, I feel completely blessed that I brought that in day one. It's something that I've enjoyed as long as I can remember. I'm certain that the only thing, I lacked was mentorship for a number of years, to really enjoy that part of me, that teachability. Once I walked in the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous and I realized what that part of my personality was, I threw myself head first in, knowing full well how teachable I could allow myself to be. I had and continue to have no problems whatsoever admitting that I'm wrong, wanting to know, wanting to learn. And that brings me here. It brings me to this place where I want to do this better. I want to be better at it. I want to give as much as I can. And the only way I can give as much as I can is by learning how to do this correctly, how to make it more palatable for everybody involved, myself specifically. I absolutely want to explore the 12 steps and 12 traditions again, now more than ever. I would love to explore so many aspects of the literature, now more than ever, knowing that there's more for me to work on. And so we go forward. I'm going to ask again, drop some comments. Connect with me on Instagram. I'll vet you quickly. I'll add you. We can converse. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Let me know what I can do better. Let me know if it's helping. Let me know if it's doing anything. Please, any thoughts that come to mind that would, occur to you, please share them. I want to do this right, and I want to do it better for sure. It's this next chapter for me that I'm crazy excited about. So I'm gonna hit the stop button. Feels like I'm starting to babble a little bit, and I definitely don't want to do that. Hopefully this has been a cohesive one, and looks like I've only got a few minutes left before I gotta change loads anyway. So take care, guys. It works if we work it one day at a time.